Namaste, everyone, and welcome to another live Friday afternoon QiGong class. So, as we said last week, we are going to be recapping on the exercises that we've already done. We're pausing on the three treasures. We're going to recap the first set, the first sequences, which was our QiGong, and then we're going to move on in the coming weeks to integrate some new practices within that. So, find what feels good, find a comfortable place. For those that haven't done it before, make sure you've got space just to swing your arms around you. You can do this seated or standing, and you'll find some seated variations online. So, without further ado, let's get that body warmed up. So, starting as usual with the wrists, the elbows. We're just going to take the hands and turn them wrists, dropping the elbows in a nice figure of eight, just flexing the wrists. Just feeling the soles of your feet or your sits bones on the surface beneath you. Just starting to become aware of the breath and the body. Let them shoulders sink down the back body as we open up the elbows. So we just take them out to the sides and back round, and you can still be flexing the wrists and the fingers as well. These are just exercises to open up the joints, let the body know there's movement coming. Lovely. And let's go on to the shoulders. Now we're going to be focusing a bit on shoulders today because quite a few people have been feeling them that have said for the coming class. So the tops of the shoulders, we're just going to imagine them melting down. And we've got some points. It's called Global 21, just halfway down. The back of the shoulder, halfway between the shoulder blade, just off the back of the bone, gallbladder 21. And we're just going to start with a gentle massage there before we roll the shoulders. Just for 20 seconds, 30 seconds or so, releasing any tension or tightness. Bringing the breath to the shoulder. You can imagine white light washing in through your fingertips and just washing away any stuck energies, any tension or tightness in your muscles. This is a great one as well if you've been experiencing a lot of head energy, a lot of migraines or busy mind. This one can help bring you back to the body. You can also tap that point. So again, onto the other side. And just notice, is it any different from the side? On the left and the right? Is there any stickiness in there? That can indicate just a bit more awareness and breath to release any tension or tightness. And hopefully the shoulders will feel looser by the end of today's practice. So there are some gentle circles. Imagine breathing light into the area. Bring your mind into it. There we go. Right, so let's get them shoulder bones, joints open. And we're starting with all the movements coming from the upper shoulder. So we're taking the upper shoulder up, around and back. And the arms are only following because the shoulder's taking them round. So the backs of the palms, the back of the hands face away, and then they're facing forward. Really letting them shoulder blades sink down the back body. And the other way. One more time. Just backwards to reset. Oh, have a little shake. Lovely. Let's go on to open up them hips and waists. So, in fact, we'll do tray of teacups at this point. So we'll take that hand out to the side and we're going to do our teacup. So we're going to start with the arms, bringing the teacup into the side, push the arm back behind you, bringing the arm round in front of you, up over your head and back to the side. So again, we're going to take the palm and we're imagining holding a cup into it. We're bringing it into our side. We're going to push it away behind us, around to the front, over the head and back to the side. So again, bring the arm round, and this time we're going to add the hips. So as the arm goes to the side, the hips go to the side, the arms go forward, the hips go forward as the arm comes over. And so you'll find that every time you reach the side body, there should be a nice gap there for your arm to go round. Just a couple more times, and then we'll change it. So going back the other way. So we're just doing the opposite movement. You might just want to start with the arm going over the head, bringing it round to the side and through, and then introducing your hips. This one can take time, but you can revisit the replays and get some extra practice in there. It's just a nice one to bring some spiraling through the whole body. Loosen up the hips and the waist. In fact, we'll start again with the arm going behind, scooping round to the side, over the head. Don't worry too much about that teacup to start with, just get in the movement, and in time, you can bring in the hips and feel that spiral right the way from the soles of your feet, the center of your feet, right the way up to the crown of the head. Bringing a nice openness, keeping a nice long neck. Bringing a bit of awareness through the spine, a bit of upper body integrity. And then to make it even more challenging for the mind, bring you fully into the moment. We can just start with getting one side going. We're going to take the other arm. So we've got our teacup ready. We're just starting with one side. Once we've got that momentum, when that arm goes over the head, the other one comes into the side body. And you can have a play with this one. So as one goes up over, you'll notice the gap for the other one to come through. Okay, and you can practice that to both directions. I tend to get one arm going and the hips going first, and then bring in the other arm. That can be quite a fun one and brilliant to just bring you out of the head and very directly into the body. And be patient and compassionate with yourself as we now take the backs of the palms and push down, let the elbows drop and just push down to the corners of the room. And let's open up that side neck. So lifting the crown, always listen to your own body for neck exercises. You know your body best. So you're going to keep a nice long neck, and you can imagine a line of opposition between the crown of your head and the back of your palm. And then you can gently roll your shoulder, your neck over the shoulder, just releasing any tension or tightness. This one's more for the arms, and dropping them shoulders down the back body, releasing any tension or tightness in the wrists. Bringing in a nice deep breath to the abdomen. Release and give it a shake. Lovely. So let's also just do another one for the neck and shoulders. We're going to do stork spreads its feathers. So we're going to imagine scooping water around in front of us and then pushing it behind you, letting the fingertips drop down, letting the neck nice and strong, kind of gentle tuck in the chin, just to scoop around. And just notice how that feels. And for those of you, if you've got your camera on, you can look at your own posture. You can notice I've got one shoulder with more tension and tightness, and I can see that one slightly higher. So I'm just breathing awareness into it. I don't have to necessarily change it. Really let them fingertips drop down this time, lifting the crown, and again over the shoulder, keeping a nice line of opposition between the crown and the opposite fingers. And we're rolling the head and the neck. You can breathe awareness into the top of that shoulder, the side of the neck. Never overstretching, just enough to lean into potentially any discomfort, but never to the point of pain. So we're bringing the breath and awareness. Just simply being aware of the body can help us to relieve tension and tightness through breath, through awareness, and through stretch. Right. Lovely. Let's open up the lower body just slightly. So those that are in a chair, just running your hands up and down your thighs. For those of you that are standing, that have got a bit more of an active practice, we can just sink a little bit lower. We'll just get them warmed up a couple of times before we do tiger crouches in the grass. So we're going to imagine gripping the wall, as in gripping as if climbing up a wall. And we're going to bring the arms up over the head, and we're going to go down to the floor and scoop up. Imagine scraping out the gutter and down. Scoop up. Just have a bit of a cleanser. Just one more time. And this time we can come up, and you can go down if you want to open the hips slightly or to get the tops of the legs slightly warmer. You can always bring the arms ultimately to the point where it's a straight line. And the focus is not on overstretching the body. It's just on bringing awareness, openness, and disciplining the mind to stay a bit more in the moment, a bit more with that warmth and heat. So shake the legs out. Let's warm up the knees slightly so you can just do a couple of circles with the knees going one way. Always listen to your body. If there's any sensitivity in the joints, find what feels good for you. Take what works, leave what doesn't. So open up them ankles, the one that often gets forgotten. Really flex them toes if you're barefoot like me. You can lean against the surface for this one, and then we're just going to shake it in front, the side, and behind. We're just loosening up the body. Great way to start the weekend. It's a great one to do as well if you've been doing a lot of exercises like cycling or standing, running, where there's a repetitive movement on the body, just to give it a bit more freedom again. Lovely. So let's shake the tree. We'll go into Wuji, and then I'll talk you through, because some people haven't necessarily remembered or done before the QiGong. So find yourself that Wuji stance. So we're standing with our hips, our feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Let them drop, shoulders drop down, tailbone dropping down, the crown's lifting, and the chin is tight, lightly tucked. Bring the arms in front of you and let's shake the tree. So we're just going to gently bounce in that position. And the bouncing and the shaking can be accompanied by a nice audible breath, helping us to release tension and tightness in the body. You can bring a slight twist in from that inner waist level, the core. Bringing a bit of openness into the spine. And then you can just do a mental scan of the body. If you're still noticing tension and tightness, just breathe into the area and shake it out. Don't think about how it looks or sounds. Focus on how it feels in your body right now as you release these tensions and tightnesses. Really let them knees and the feet and the heels open up, loosen up. That gentle vibration, just loosening anything stuck in the body, through the arms and the wrists, especially if you've been doing a lot of computer work. And then slowing it down, and notice how you feel. Just taking a few nice deep breaths into the abdomen. So we've got our tailbone tucked down, we've got our chin slightly tucked, shoulder blades are dissolving down the back body, they're hanging low, the chest's open, knees are soft, awareness through the feet or the sits bones if you're seated. And you can imagine a ball of white light in your abdomen. And we're just going to breathe into that space just for a couple of minutes. Bring our mind and sink it down into the body. Notice the belly rising and falling. You can imagine the mind like a pebble, sinking down and down, through behind the eyes, through the throat, down through the ribs, past the lungs, the heart, sinking down past the stomach, down deep into the abdomen, 2 finger widths beneath the belly button, the middle, the center of your torso. And just landing softly on sand there, clear waters, and just breathing into this nice calm space. If your mind wanders, just notice the breath. Notice where it lands in the torso. Not trying to change the breath in any way, allowing it to naturally settle, deepen at its own natural pace. It helps to keep your mind engaged. You can imagine that ball of light in your abdomen expand with the inhale and slightly contract with the exhale. Just another minute or so. We hold these postures to help sync the mind, to rest and recharge the body, and to build energy in our door of life, our lower dantian, and to let that energized state, that restive state, be the place where we move into the flows from, letting the movement be more effortless and natural energy springing from inside. Like the movement comes from that core, from that breath, that spaciousness. So you can now bring the arms to soften at the side for a moment, maintaining that level of awareness as we go to our first exercise, which is like pumping a bellows. We're going to take the arms, breathe in and imagine a lifting from the core up to the chest, that light lifting to the chest. And then we bring it down and condense. So there's a slight lifting as the arms go to the sides, as the awareness lifts to the chest and back down. Keeping the fingertips nice and flexed. It's like in the palms, just an awareness in the palms. Every movement in QiGong can be a whole body movement, whole body awareness. We breathe in with the inhale, and we breathe out with the exhale. We let them shoulder blades drop down the back body, lifting slightly through the front body. And you're imagining that awareness as it lifts from the abdomen to the chest, being what brings the movement from that tailbone, that core lift. It moves the whole body. And you can imagine condensing that ball of light in front of you. So it's expanding. And then we're bringing all of that to compact together. One more time, building each time. Before we now come to flying hands, so we're going to bring the hands up to the chest level. We're going to take them out to shoulder width. Turn and sink back down. So again, we're lifting awareness up the front of the torso to shoulder level where they slightly widen. Fingertips face forward, palms down and sink. And with the breath, breathing into lift. And as we turn the palms, you can hold the breath slightly and then let it sink. And bringing in that breath hold can help again as we slow the body. Slow the breath, it slows the mind. And it's in this state the body can reset and recharge itself. Benefiting this circulation, your digestion, immunity. And bring in some awareness up from that core place up to the heart. Final time. And you can introduce a progressively longer pause there to increase the breath. And now we're going to go. to opening to the 4 directions. So this is the one where we palms face down, we breathe in. And again, awareness rises to the chest, and this time the palms open up to the sides. The palms are facing forwards at our sides, coming round and down. With the flows, we're never overacting. Gentle movement within the structure of the flow. Letting the energy move your body, the feeling in your body. Really expand that chest and drop the shoulders at the top. And a slight sinking in the tailbone and the legs as we sink. And again, you can do this with your breath and progressively allow that breath to lengthen and deepen. It's not about quantity in QiGong. In QiGong, in Dao Yin, it's about the quality, the depth, the feeling. Final time. Now bring the arms soften to your sides. Notice how you feel. And now I'm going to invite you to slightly rock towards the front of your feet. We're going to repeat that just 3 times and see if it feels any different. We're activating our bubbling spring, which can help to energize. It's on the kidney meridian on the sole at the foot. So when we're feeling the need for a bit more energy, this can really help to enliven the body. Final time with your own breath. Always following your own breath. Good. And now we're going to do upholding the moon. So for this one, we bend, whether you're in this chair or standing, we keep the spine straight. It's like lifting the crown, so we're keeping that integrity. As we imagine space between each vertebrae of the back, we're scooping round. I'm going to pick up that moon and bring it to our chest level. We're then going to turn the palms away, up over the head and down to the sides. Now for this one, we're going to bring the palms overlapping each other, which connects our Lao Gong points, our heart points. So it's a nice heart opener. So we're going to breathe in, feel that spaciousness in the back body. Nice and long in the neck. And when we reach this point, that's when we turn them. We're opening the chest up and breathe out. Slight pause. We turn the fingers down. Breathe in to scoop up that moon. And we breathe into this point and we can hold slightly as we turn. And exhale. We open and release. Inhale with your own breath. Really breathe into the back body. Feel the vertebrae opening up. And then feel the chest open. Shoulders soft, elbows soft, wrists soft. With awareness. Breathing in. You can imagine breathing into the heart at this point. Opening up the back of that heart, the back of the chest and back body, and out. Final time. And then we'll just do this a couple of times without any instruction. One more time. Bringing the arms around to the sides and notice how you feel. And let's do swimming dragon. So this one's great for the spinal vertebrae again. Take one palm facing upwards, one palm facing down, and imagine that narrow line inside the torso. So it's quite a narrow one. And we're going to imagine them two elevators pushing away from each other. And then rotating around that middle finger like a key in a lock. We turn and we change. And we turn, we breathe in. And when the palms cross, we exhale to release. Really dropping them shoulders down. And imagine the vertebrae stretching with this movement. Let the palms pushing away from each other, helping open up them vertebrae. Still maintaining a nice breath in the abdomen. And going with the pace of your own breath. Final time. To one side and the other. Back to center. Noticing how you feel. Nice deep abdominal breath. Really relax them shoulders. And finally, let's do cow gazes at the moon. So I'm going to bring the arms as if we're holding, like they call this one standing tree. You can imagine like holding your arms around a tree just to get the feel of that stance. And then we're just going to turn from the inner hip, from this region here. We're just going to turn and we're going to let them palms push slightly outward. Okay. Go to the other side and then we'll introduce the breath. And imagine the back body pushing slightly away from the palms. And we turn. So breathing in. In fact, I think this one feels better breathing out at this point. A nice release of the back body. Breathe into center, turn. Exhale as we push away. Turn, breathe in. QiGong's all about the feeling. Finding what feels good, really let them shoulder blades drop down. This one's great for digestion. Really let the back body push slightly away. Just creating a bit of space in the abdomen and back body. Letting the shoulders be soft, the crown be slightly lifted. One more time to each side. Bringing it back round to center. Arms gentle and soft at the sides. Noticing how you feel. And then let's draw down the heavens before we do a body scan. So breathing in. Gathering, gathering, gathering. Imagine purple light washing all the way down through your body. Again with your breath. Purple light washing through. Scanning, releasing, balancing. Imagine it washing right the way through to the tips of the toes. And now this time, I'm going to imagine breathing in whatever quality of energy we most need. whether that's joy or peace. We're going to center it in the abdomen, so we're going to bring the folds of the hands in onto each other. We're going to bring our legs together closer to a comfortable stance. This one's called Bamboo Sways in the Wind. We're going to take some nice deep abdominal breath. It's like lifting the crown, lifting of the tailbone, relaxing the whole body. And just noticing now, scanning your mind through the body and noticing how you feel. An awareness to your head, scalp, the forehead, the back of the head, brain, softening, dissolving, heavy, washes down the front of the face, through the jaw, down through to the jade door, that jade pillow at the back of the neck, where it meets the skull as it washes down every vertebrae down to the shoulder blades, washing through the throat and letting them shoulder blades soften, melting, be heavy. It flows down now, relaxing through to the fingertips, right the way through those arms, back to the chest, washing down the front of the body and the back of the chest, softening the lungs, softening down now as it melts and dissolves to the abdomen, the stomach, the liver, the kidneys, the intestines. All those internal organs are softening, they're heavy, melting down with the breath. As that sensation now washes down the hips, the glutes, the tops and backs of the legs, softening and dissolving the knees, the shins, the calves, the ankles, the center of your feet, the top of your foot, all the way down to every single toe. Heavy, relaxed, spacious, and a few final deep breaths in this spacious, empty place. Alert, noticing how you feel as the breath sinks into the abdomen. And when you're ready, taking the feet out to shoulder width, just circling, bringing a bit of wakefulness back around the abdomen. Final deep breath and release with an audible sigh. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Join us next week for another recap class. And tomorrow starts the beginning of our June QiGong challenge. So look out for that as well on Facebook and YouTube, which will be a 5-minute daily practice, because self-care can be a gift to yourself, and even 5 minutes can be a journey. So let's join together in the shared intention and see what feels good for us. So take good care, everyone, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye for now.